Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to January the 2nd, 2024. Meeting of the Newberry County Board of Zoning Appeals will come to order. We do have a quorum. In fact, all members are present. I'd ask that you disable the audible function of your communicators. And from there, we'll get started. First order of business tonight is the election of officers. At this time, the Chair would entertain a motion for chair.
I nominate Doug Hill.
Thank you, Pat.
Mr. Hipp's been nominated. Is there a second? I heard a second. Didn't I?
Y'all second.
Okay. Any more nominations for chair? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion for vice chair.
Ty Ransdale.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded for vice chair as Mr. Ransdale. The chair would entertain a motion for secretary, and before we do that, this is not gonna sound right, but the only choice we have is Miss Katie for now, because Bridget is retiring in March. We don't have any business next month. That'll eliminate Bridget. And Justin is a floater right now?
He is,
I nominate Ms.
Would you-
Katie Wertz.
Would you consider?
yes.
And I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded for all three officers. The chair would entertain a motion that the nominations come to a
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
all in favor as Mr. Hipp chair, Mr. Ransdale vice chair, and Miss Katie as secretary, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All in favor? The nominations are carried as voted on. Mr. Chairman-elect,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I surrender this chair if you'd like it.
What I want to add to that, thank y'all, and Mr. Wayne, thank you for your 2 years of service. We certainly appreciate it.
Certainly,
Yes,
thank y'all for your
appreciate it, Wayne.
support.
Yes. I want to add to what the chairman was saying. When you come to speak, if you have not signed up with Ms. Katie, please make sure you are. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address, because this is a judicial, right?
Correct.
We sign up with her now?
If you wish to speak.
If you wish to speak.
Or if you want to listen and then you have questions or wish to speak, at that time you can come up and sign.
Yeah, you will just need to be registered with her.
That's fine.
And do consider yourselves under oath, as this is a judicial body. Is there anything else, former chairman, that I need to
No,
add to those?
Don't think so.
All right, thank you. Now, the next order of business is the approval of minutes from the November 7th, 2023 board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as stated.
I'll second. So,
We have a motion by Mr. Ransdale and a second by Mr. Lister. The motions, all in favor? Aye.
aye.
Opposed likewise. The minutes are approved. There being no old business, the first new business is case SE 01-01-02-24. A special exception request for a commercial structure exceeding 3,000 square feet and gross floor area to be 4,000 square feet. The property is located at 1249B Holy Trinity Church Road, Little Mountain, South Carolina. Tax map number 737-48. Ms. Katie.
So the potential buyers of this piece of property is wanting to purchase the property and build a commercial storage building on the property. The storage building will be 4,000 square feet. The storage building is allowed within the R2 zoning district as long as it was 3,000 square feet or less. So the reason they're here tonight for this special exception would be because it is over the 3,000, it's the 4,000 square feet, and that then turns into a special exception. They meet all of the other special exception requirements other than the square footage.
I'm gonna take liberty to ask a question. So they met the
Everything, yes, everything.
borders, the.
Yes,
the-
all of they meet setbacks and
the
all of the.
setback, okay, all right. Any other questions for Ms. Katie?
The commercial storage building, is it like a mini warehouse facility?
So
type?
they own a heating and air. Commercial and industrial installation company, so they'll be storing their products there. They may build an office within the building, but it will be for their staff. They will have no, foot traffic coming in and out. It will only be for their office use only.
Okay, so they're not renting out office space?
No, 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 no,
Gotcha.
nope.
I got you. Any other
And
questions?
the potential buyers are here tonight if y'all have any further questions for them.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Katie? All right, thank you, Ms. Katie. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on behalf of this? You're not required to speak. If there's something you want to add other than what Ms. Katie said, you're welcome to. Okay. She did a wonderful job. Is there anyone here speaking in opposition to this? Then get up and sign and then.
There we go.
Go to the podium so we can hear you on the mic, okay?
Okay.
And if you'll print your name, please.
Yeah, you don't want to see my handwriting.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure the
Your
specifications.
name, please.
Bruce Crawford, I'm sorry.
Bruce Crawford.
And I
you-
live at, Fort 16 Red Knoll Road. I have a son that lives on property 738, which is like right down the road from this place, this facility. I had worked for many years with DHEC in Columbia for 35 years in the environmental part. Warehouses scare me. They can back up, they can unload anything they want in there. The county will be oblivious to it. The generalized aspect of what's going in there is a generic kind of response. It's not specific. There's no indication that there'll be floor drains, there'll be liquids stored there, things like that. All that can have a significant impact on the residents in the area because they're all living on wells. I'm not really sure why they chose this area. There's no interstate traffic availability. They've got to come up and down Holy Trinity Road with this stuff. McClams is there, but I'm not a big fan of McClams either. So I'm not really sure why they've chosen this area. It poses a big concern for me for the fact that we're never going to know what they're actually doing there or what they're storing there. They could be having a fleet of vehicles. They could be storing motor oil there for all we know, or hydraulic fluid for equipment. There could be refrigerants, which I'm not too worried about because most of those things are gaseous and if they leak. But there's a lot of potential there for a problem. And to give them latitude that they can't stay within without approval seems a little bit strange. If they are building a warehouse and they know the limitations, why can't they work within those limitations? 3,000 square feet is a pretty good amount. They got, a fair amount of property to deal with. But to add another 1,000 square feet, just to me, I don't understand. So I'm not really for it. I'm worried about the property values in the area. The guy across the street, when he sold it, probably sold it to an individual, not a company, which then decided that they were going to be representing a company and putting a warehouse in. So his property values are going to wind up probably taking a smack. I really would like to see Newberry get some zoning controls in to prevent this kind of stuff in residential areas. I mean, these are all homes over here. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Any questions for Mr. Crawford?
Yes. Yes, is there any questions for Mr. Crawford?
You want me to stand back up here?
If there's any questions for Mr. Crawford, thank you, Mr. Wayne.
Is this the event center that we negotiated several years ago?
No, that's Oak.
No, that was Live Oak, and that turned out to be a pretty nice deal. Those folks kept everything off the road. I actually had family to utilize that property, and I watched very carefully what was going on. They regulated everybody, they made sure there was nothing going on out of hand, they keep things off the road, they don't disturb people, they cut it off at an early time. They've done a very conscientious job of blending in with a residential area. I've got no more beef with them at all, none.
Yeah.
A warehouse, on the other hand, does worry me.
Where is this located in proximity to that event center?
It's basically, if you look at your map, you see that field across the road, 38-16. Look across the map, look across Holy Trinity. That is Old Oak Barn.
737.6.
Do you see it?
737-6? Yeah.
738-16. 738-16. It's got a,
Right, straight across.
Straight across the road,
Yes,
yeah.
it's 11:55.
yes, that's Live Oak. Old Oak Barn, I'm sorry.
All right.
But you virtually cannot see that place from the highway.
No.
They have a beautiful gate. They keep it well-groomed, maintained. They are very conscientious neighbors.
That's right.
So I don't have a problem with them at all. A warehouse, on the other hand, is gonna be up front and in your face. So,
But just remember, the only reason they're here is because they
yeah, I
asked
know,
for
to get a
1,000
bigger
square
variance,
feet.
and, you know, if they could.
Special exception.
Right, special exception. So,
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing we can actually do to actually stop that. It worries me. And if they're gonna be given the latitude of more space, there's just more room for potentials.
Yes. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Crawford?
Was this some of the bowling property?
I believe it was.
It looks like it.
When,
I didn't get
Ma-
my agenda ahead of time, so I'm a little bit in the dark.
Yeah.
And I know you live there, that's,
well,
live close.
yeah, I go by there a lot. In fact, just about every day I'm ended up going by there. I'm not sure if that's the bone, no, I don't think so. I think that's from, the lady across the street when she passed away.
This one, they months on it now.
Yeah,
Across the street, they own all of that, all three of those parts.
All right.
This
Yeah.
is some Mont's property?
yeah,
Okay, this is before you get to bowling, okay.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, for Mr. Crawford? All right. Anyone else speaking against this? You're, all right, would you like time to rebuttal?
Yes, sir.
All right, please get up, state your name, and please.
My name is Christina Sosa Manzo. We are the potential buyers.
All right.
For this property. So the reason why we want this property is because we own it in industrial and commercial insulation. And so the material that would be stored there are things like fiberglass, polyiso, which is all environmental friendly products. So it would be no chemicals, no oil, nothing hazardous that could, go into the ground. We do not do business with the public. We are a specialty contractor, so we only do with general contractors and plants. And so we have grown, and we need that warehouse to be able to store materials, ladders, scaffolding, stuff for commercial sites. And so as we continue to grow, we're hoping to have one or two estimators working in there, and so we would be all together. And so currently, that property is perfect because we live at 415 Rocky Ramp Drive in Chapin, which is only 9 minutes from our home, which
Right.
is currently we're doing business out of.
Okay. Any questions?
I'm familiar with Rocky Ramp Drive in Chapin, that's heavily residential,
It is.
and you're running a business out of there now.
I have a home office for the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, yes. So insulation is large, bulky.
Yes, there's,
So that,
we do not do wall insulation, we do HVAC, tanks, which is fiberglass, polyiso. So it's nothing that's ever hazardous or requires special, permits or anything of that. So you have fiberglass in this building, and this is typically the type of work that we do.
okay.
Where are you currently storing your materials and your product?
Currently, we have 6 storage units that we are renting. So that's another reason why we would like to own a warehouse instead of having to pay so much money to these storage units.
And those storage units are in
We,
Chapin area or,
we have 3 in the Chapin area, and then we have 3 in the Irmo area.
and your general area that you're serving is the central
We
part of
do South Carolina, we do the eastern, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, District of Columbia. So, we don't do any type of public, there would never be any public, people coming in. We're just specialty. So we deal with just plants and general contractors.
Now, you provide the product, but you don't do the installation, or do you?
No, we do the installation. When a job comes in, we buy these from the suppliers. There's several in the state, and we store them there. And when the job starts, we use them, and we just routine. So, the stuff that we don't use, we still keep, because we can use that for the next product, for the next job.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
It seems like, if my memory serves me right, there's some friends back here we need to talk to. The board is required to consider the following factors per section 153.053B. Okay. The use will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located, designed, and proposed to be operated according to the information submitted. 2, the use complies with all regulations and standards of this ordinance. 3, the use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining properties, or the use is a public necessity. 4, the location and character of the use, if developed according to the information as submitted and approved, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located. 5, the use will not create traffic impacts that will endanger public safety or create or contribute to congestion. 6, the use will not create noise, light, glare, odor, or obstruction of airflow on adjoining properties. And 7, that the proposed use will not be in conflict with, but will further the objectives of the Newberry County Comprehensive Plan for the area in which it is located. And we also have to consider the ordinance 153.089 and 153.137, which that's to do with setbacks. Having said that, does this board have an opinion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I could not concur with item number 1 on this.
All right. All right, do I need to poll each
Yes,
board member then, please?
Yes.
Mr. Lister, how say you?
I would concur with number 1.
Then that's a yes.
Yes.
Mr. Wilkes? Yes. Mr. Ransdale?
I concur, yes.
Yes, on
Mr. Pat? Yes. Mr. Sam? Yes. Number 2, the use complies with all regulations and standards of this ordinance. Mr. Lister?
I would like a clarification in the fact that the use complies, but it's the square footage. Is that?
That's what, we're here for the special exception. They comply with the setbacks
and the
required
zoning is,
in the zoning.
Okay.
it's just the
So I
square
would concur
footage.
with
It's
that.
just,
Concur.
Mr. Wilks. Mr. Ransdale.
Concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Concur.
And I concur with it also, Mr. Hill.
I concur.
Yes. The use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining properties or the use is a public necessity. Mr. Lister.
Let me give that some thought,
Okay?
okay? I would concur.
Mr. Wilks.
Concur.
Mr. Ransdale.
I concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Do not concur.
No. Mr. Bat,
I don't concur,
you,
I concur with it.
you concur with it. Mr. Sam. Okay. The location and character of the use, if developed according to the information as submitted and approved, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located. Mr. Lister.
I would agree.
Mr. Wilks. Mr. Ransdale.
Concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Cannot concur.
Ms. Bat.
Do not concur. Oh, I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Metz.
Concur.
Mr. Sam. Number 5, the use will not create traffic impacts that will endanger public safety or create or contribute to congestion. Mr. Lister.
I concur.
Mr. Wilks.
Concur.
Mr. Ransdale.
Concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Concur.
Mr. Metz.
And I concur.
Mr. Sam. The use will not create noise, light, glare, odor, or obstruction of airflow on adjoining properties. Mr. Lister.
I concur.
Wilks.
Concur.
Ransdale.
Concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Concur.
And also.
This, and Mr.
Concur.
And last, that the proposed use will not be in conflict with, but will further the objectives of the Newberry County Comprehensive Plan for the area in which it is located. Mr. Lister.
I concur.
Mr. Wilks. Ransdale.
Concur.
Mr. Bowling.
Concur.
Mr. Metz.
Concur.
Mr. Sam. With only one objection on 2 articles, I'll be prepared to hear a motion on 2 negatives.
Make a motion to grant the variance.
All right, Mr. Wilks. Do we have a second?
I would second.
Mr. Lister seconds. All in favor say aye.
Raise your hands for me.
Oh, raise your hands. And opposed? Okay, and the ayes have it.
Okay.
Your special exception has been granted, but you need to wait, is it still 30
It's
days?
30 days, so if anyone would like to, appeal the board's decision to the circuit court, they will have 30 days to do that, okay?
And you're welcome to stay, or you're welcome quietly to depart. Thank you very much. Number 2, there's a case VA 01-01-02-24, a variance request for the relief of the average of the 50-foot setback from the 360 contour of Lake Murray to be 35 feet for an addition to the existing house. The property is located at 508 Chalet Road, Prosperity, South Carolina, tax map number 653-3-37-4. Ms. Works.
So the property is highlighted in blue. It's kind of hard to see, but that's the property there. The homeowners have purchased this property in this home and are looking to do some renovations. They're looking to add a garage and a bath to both sides, but those additions meet setbacks. There's nothing on the zoning side that we need to worry about. What they're here tonight for is their deck. They're wanting to come off the front of the house towards Lake Murray, 16 feet in, towards the lake, and then 48 feet wide, which is the width of the house. They would like to be 35 feet from the 360 instead of the 50-foot requirement. So they're here tonight for a variance for the Lake Murray setback.
a question, Ms. Wertz. This is considered a deck. If this
It's covered.
is a covered deck, okay, I got you. But if this variance is allowed, and then they decide to close it in, it's still fine? Or, okay,
If the, what we go off is the roof line.
got you, roof line. Not the use of it on this one. Thank you.
If it was open, no roof, they wouldn't be before y'all, but when a roof
Roof
is, that's where it comes into play.
Any questions for Ms. Wertz? Is there anyone here that feels the need to speak in favor of this? You're not required to, if you would like.
If you want to add something, just print for me if you don't mind.
I'm Sergio Komiak. We just recently purchased this property, and it'll be a retirement home for us eventually. It's a beautiful property that's right on the lake. The only thing it's lacking is outdoor space to enjoy beautiful views. So we understand it's a variance for the setback, but we're landlocked in terms of being able to add anything to the home. It's a very small home. I believe it's 1,400 square feet. And so we just want to be able to enjoy it when we get out there, and, temporarily now and, more permanently in years to come.
Any questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here speaking against this variance request? Hearing none, the deliberation will begin. We will need to poll each member here with 153.052 C1 through 5. There are extraordinary and exceptional conditions pertaining to a particular piece of property. Mr. Lister.
I would agree.
Mr. Wilkes.
Agree.
Ransdale.
Agree.
Boland.
Concur.
Metz.
Agree.
And Mr. Sam. Two, these conditions do not generally apply to other property in the vicinity or in that district. Mr. Lister.
Concur.
Wilkes. Ransdale.
Concur.
Boland.
Concur.
Metz.
Concur.
Mr. Sam. Three, because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance to a particular piece of property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict use of this property. Mr. Lister.
I concur.
Wilkes.
Concur.
Ransdale.
Concur.
Boland.
Concur.
Metz.
Concur.
Mr. Sam.
Concur.
The authorization of the variance will not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property or the public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance. Mr. Lister.
Concur.
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 Concur. Concur.
The effect of the variance would not allow the establishment of a use not otherwise permitted in the zoning district, would not extend physically a non-conforming use of the land, would not change the zoning district boundaries shown on the official zoning map. Mr. Lister.
I concur.
Concur.
Mr. Hanson.
Concur.
Concur.
Having everybody polled, I would entertain a motion.
Move the variance be granted.
Mr. Lister moves.
Second.
Mr. Boland? Or
That's fine.
or Metz?
Either one of them.
Now, all in favor by raising your hand? And opposed? Likewise. Okay, your variance request is approved, but you need to wait 30 days
To start construction.
to do anything. Because if there was somebody to come up, could be a problem, as it has been. Thank you very much, and welcome to Newberry County.
Thank you.
The other business, we have the meeting dates for 2024. You have indicated there may or may not be one.
I've got one, property that may, spoke to the owner of the property today. They're willing, they, are good with the tenant to, come before the board if they so choose, so they've got till Friday.
Okay.
Because of the way this one, the next month falls, they have till Friday, so maybe one, but, only looking like possibly one.
Okay. And Mr. Ransdell, I will be out of town in March if we have a meeting.
Okay.
Is there, these are the dates listed. Do we need to,
Let's do it just to be on the safe side.
all right, everybody, and
Move to accept the dates as written,
Good.
Mr. Chairman.
thank you, Mr. Boland.
Now second it.
And the
Perfect.
second, all favor, show of hands.
Good
Mr.
deal.
Lister?
I was gonna check to see July 2nd, how close that is to July 4th for the holiday.
2 days.
2 days.
So,
The majority approves the meeting, but that. Now, and then,
Remember that.
I won't be here then.
now, I got you. What else my agenda got going? There it is. And the next is, meeting possibly will be February 6th at 5:30 PM. Anything else? We will know more on education later. And, Mr. Wilks, you have a motion
I've got a motion, dismiss.
to adjourn? And we have a second by Mr. Lister. All in favor? Aye. Arise and depart in peace. Thank you very much.